Good morning, everybody. This is Carrie with Southern Sass Vinyl. So I got some messages for people wanting some clarification on the powdering process. Okay, so I use a Luby oven. You see it there in the background. I have my table set up. Sorry, y'all hear my printer going in the background. I just keep my powder in a Tupperware dish, and I put some silica packets in it to keep it fresh, and plastic spoon. So, and then I use just the big tinfoil roasting pan. Okay, so let me get y'all. Alright, so the big confusion seems to be around when to powder and when you should wait and when you should powder immediately. So the short answer is I use gradient white. Okay, so that means like this print, you see it doesn't print white behind the dark colors. And I'm going to spin you around just a little bit so you can see this one coming out on my printer. Oh, I don't think you can actually see that. Here you go. So the cow part of the design is actually black, but then it has light pink and yellow and teal kind of color, really light blue color accents. And so the only thing that's printing white is going to be over those light colors. Anything that's the dark colors, that's the black and the dark brown, is not going to print white over it. And this saves a ton on white ink. And it also makes your print much thinner. Okay, so, but when you use that, you have to be conscious of your time. So, when you are using 100% white on your print, you want to wait a bare minimum of 10 minutes. I personally prefer to wait closer to 20 minutes before you powder your print, because you don't want to powder your print while your ink is actually wet. You want it to kind of gel some. Okay, you want your ink to set just a little bit so that when you put your powder on there, you're not smearing your ink, or you're not compressing your ink. You're not doing, you're just letting your ink set. So on this particular print that I have in front of me in the tin right now that I'm fixing to powder, it was a gradient white. It does have quite a bit of white on it. So for this particular print, I let it sit for 10 minutes. Okay, so when you have a print that has kind of less than, let's say, 25% white, you're going to want to go ahead and powder that within 5 minutes, because your colored inks dry twice as fast as your white ink. Okay, so when you're planning out your time of when you need to powder, you need to figure out how much white ink was actually printed. Alright, so we're just going to kind of break this down. We're going to say no white ink, or very less than 25% white ink. You want to wait 5 minutes, powder, and cure, because you don't want your colored inks to dry too fast. If you have prints that have, let's say, 50% white, which kind of would be what I would consider this, would be about 50-50. The same thing with this one that just finished. Let me see, just tilt you up just a little. The one that just finished, I'm going to call that 50-50. So for these particular prints, you're going to wait about 10 to 15 minutes. This print that I have right here, because it's small text. Yes, the white in comparison to the rest of the design is over 50%, but it's small, so it's going to dry faster. It's less ink. So I only waited 10 minutes, okay, for this one, and I'm fixing to powder it. So, but the one that just came out, okay, that design, or that print, I'm sorry, I'm going to wait about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes on this print. Because to me, that's just where I have found gives me the best coverage of adhesive onto the transfer. If you have a print that is 100% white, again, minimum of 10 minutes. If it's 100% white, meaning it's solid white on the back, then you're going to want to wait. The best time frame is 20 to 30 minutes. I have waited for almost 2 hours after they print when it has a lot of white on it before I powdered, and they turned out perfectly fine. Okay? But the ideal time frame for those is going to be 20 to 30 minutes after they print. And so we're going to come back to this one. Sorry, I know I'm spinning y'all around a lot. I'm sorry. So we're going to go ahead and powder this. Powdering is very simple. You take your spoon and your thing of powder. You're just going to get a little bit in your spoon, and you're just going to kind of go over it. You don't have to completely flood your transfer, okay? I'm just knocking the powder off the side. So now that you kind of have it in the middle, and I'm sorry, you're going to kind of get blocked a little bit, but you're just going to take it and you're just going to go up and down with it. Make sure that you get all of it. So you may have to do this a couple of times if you don't have a whole lot of powder like I don't, to make sure you get your entire design, okay? It's going to come off the sides and it's going to go into your tray here. I use 13-inch film, and as you can see, it fits perfect in here. Alright, so now that it's got the powder, we're going to take it up. We're going to give it a gentle shake. And I'm really hoping I have y'all tilted right so that y'all can see this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to kind of tilt y'all up just a touch. Okay. So you're just going to give it a gentle shake. And then I do my fingers on the back and I just kind of go like that. Okay. And then you're going to thump it. Not super hard. Not like you're trying to frog somebody. You're just going to knock that excess powder off. Okay. And we're going to come to the oven. I set mine on top. And then it goes into the oven for 1 minute and 45 seconds to 1 minute 50 seconds, something like that. And I do have that oven set at 260. So I hope that answered y'all's questions on the powdering and the percentages to white ink and the time frame with that. As always, if y'all have questions, please let me know. I can be reached via email, sassyvinylhtv@gmail.com, or via my website at southernsassvinyl.com, and then you'll just select the Contact Us tab. Thank y'all so much.